trees and drag them off.
Wow.
30 times.
Some of those trails were pretty bad out there, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were.
Narrower ones and then branches down, but trees had fallen over too.
They were so bad from that storm this summer. You know, I bet it took a month before that one
It's 6
behind.
o'clock. I'll ask everyone to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Let the minutes reflect that 6 of the 7 council members are here. I know Crystal and Scott are both planning on attending, so yeah, as we get through some of this other stuff, in the meantime, we'll kind of give them a couple extra minutes. First item on the agenda is the citizens forum. Now would be the time for anyone from the public that wants to address the city and the council. Now would be the time to do so. Ashley's got her upstairs anyway, so maybe we'll just wait a couple minutes. She's got Facebook up and running.
It is. I got the notification.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'll pass these out. Here is the committee appointments for this year. We'll discuss it at later in the meeting, but you guys can at least look at it now. I talked to all of you guys last week. Everyone was pretty much good with where you were at. I just made one minor adjustment with Crystal leaving and Scott Norquist coming on, so you'll notice that. Again, we can discuss that later in the meeting, but everything else pretty much stayed status quo for the 2023 calendar year.
That beautification, that should be Tylen Erickson now.
Oh, yep.
Good call.
Good catch.
Okay, so nothing on Facebook, and those other two are still coming, so, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We do have a change under letter C, the city accounts payable. The new number is $67,248.50. Again, 67,248.50. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion from Casey and a second from Josh, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. On to the agenda, are there any additions or subtractions to the main agenda?
I have an addition.
Okay,
Under administrator's report, you wanna do MOU, asking union contract?
for number 3,
Yep.
What was it, MOU for?
Memorandum of, understanding.
Okay.
okay, so that'll be number 3 under the administrative clerk treasurer's report. Any further additions or subtractions to the agenda? I need a motion.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
I have a motion from Scott, second from Sean, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. On to presentations. Brandon's here with more. Kim, is that
Yep.
microphone on?
No, this one.
I got a short agenda here. I'm sorry I didn't send it in earlier. There wasn't a whole lot today.
Thank you.
Scott's
Just
usually-
got an update on
okay.
kind of where the sewer project's at, kind of next steps, because some of it might happen in the middle of the month here. Nothing really that needs motions made on, but more of a, just a general update. So yeah, just an update here. Project status, last month's meeting, you guys awarded the project. contingent on a couple of things, contingent on the change order to reduce the scope of the project, and successfully securing PFA funding. So at this point, after the last meeting, we put together contracts between the city and the contractor, put them together, sent them to the contractor. They've reviewed, they've signed, they've submitted along with their insurance requirements and their bonding requirements, which you guys have right there. So the next step there would be, once PFA authorizes the funding for the project and gives you guys a rate lock letter, then at that point you can sign the contracts, which you don't need a motion on. It's just the next step here. And then immediately after, you'll sign the change order 1, which you also have got signed from the contractor, so that's ready to go. You'll sign that, which reduces that scope, gets it into what was awarded, and then you'll sign what's called the notice to proceed at that point, which says, okay, contractor, we have contract between us and them. They can go about performing the work when they're ready to go. At that point, we'll schedule a pre-construction meeting between city, more contractor, probably sometime in the spring, because I don't like to do it right, do it now and they're not going to start for 4 months. When we're about a month out from them starting, we'll have a pre-construction meeting, get everyone on the same page, understand scheduling, impacts, things we got to account for, that type of thing. So that would be probably, I'm guessing, in that March, April range. So that's kind of where everything's at right now. The next steps that we're working on, one of the to-do items coming out of last meeting was to figure out a loan repayment plan. Ash, you worked with PFA. It sounds like they got a plan there that everyone's in agreement with. So that's good. And then there's some more PFA funding requirements, just checking out boxes, making sure they have all the information you need. A lot of city finance information that you had to submit. And so Ashley sent that over yesterday. So once Mary Jane over at PFA has a chance to dig through everything, she'll probably have 1 or 2 more things at the end, because they always do. And once we answer that, then you guys will get your authorization and your rate lock letter. So it's just hey, there's a big packet of stuff that's most likely going to get signed this month. And then just an update about what the next steps are. So, has anyone got any questions for me on that?
We all good?
Well, if that's all I got, like I said, the little Christmas gift full of snacks.
Thank you.
And then, yeah, I'll hang out for a while. I'll probably see you guys next month. Or
When do you need these back by?
That's after we get the, sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that was after we get the notice to proceed, correct?
Once, so Mary Jane at PFA will send a rate lock letter and say, okay, if you sign this, basically you're locking in the loan, you're locking in this rate. And once you sign that, you guys have funding.
Yeah.
And then at that point, then you can move forward signing a contract. You technically could sign it now, but if something were to happen, once you sign that contract, you guys are locked in with Celine to do the project.
Sure.
And so let's just wait till we have the funding, being as it's probably going to be a couple weeks here.
And it looked like we were at like 1%.
Yeah, it's like 1.4 or
Yeah.
something is what they're looking at right now. So that's not too bad, especially considering where things have gone in the last
Yeah.
6
Everything
months
else.
on the private side of things.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon.
Okay, moving on to mayor's report. We're gonna have to move the first one to next month. Crystal got a little bit busy tonight, so she's running behind. So, second item obviously is the swearing in of the 2023 elected officials. Josh, I think you got to start with me.
Well, you have to sign,
Yep.
you have to swear Josh in first.
Perfect. Stand over here then, Josh, I suppose. Okay, raise your right hand. I, Josh Manson,
I, Josh Matson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
the duties of the office of council member of the City of Ada,
of council member of the City of Ada,
to the best of my knowledge
to the best of my knowledge
and ability,
and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I'll sign that.
Raise your right hand. I, John Hintz,
I, John Hintz,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Mayor of the City of Ada
of Mayor of the City of Ada
to the best of my knowledge
to the best of my knowledge
and ability,
and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Okay. Yep. Kim Lewis.
Present. Good enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close, right? Raise your right hand. I, Kim Lewis,
I, Kim Lewis,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and partially discharge
the duties of the office of council,
the duties of the office of the council,
member of the City of Ada,
member of the City of Ada,
to the best of my knowledge
best of my knowledge
and the ability, so help me God.
and ability, so help me God.
Thank you, sir. Casey?
Oh, yeah, you got it too, didn't you?
Okay, raise your hand. I, Casey Krieger. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the State of Minnesota.
Put up with us that long.
And that I will faithfully
If you put up with us.
and impartially discharge the duties of the office of council, member of the City of Ada, to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God. Scott?
Join me up here.
I, Scott Norquist,
I, Scott Norquist,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
the duties of the office of City Council,
the duties of office of City Council,
member of the City of Ada,
member of the City of Ada,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
You can have a seat right here, Scott. All right. Okay, so then, moving on to committee members. In front of you guys is my committee appointments for 2023. I kept everything the same. I had some good conversations with some of the council members and then obviously the department heads that run these meetings, and all of them were pretty happy with the participation last year. So I kind of thought we shouldn't wreck a good thing, so we kind of kept everything the same. The only change that I had, Scott Erickson, I moved you from public safety to the EDA with Crystal's absence. And then Scott Nordquist, I put you on the public safety, obviously with your background in the police department. So I need a motion to approve my committee appointments.
And I'll post this to our Facebook page so everyone can see it.
Oh,
I got a question for you too.
yep.
Jim Brew, is he still around?
Yeah.
You got him on the planning and zoning?
Yeah,
still
he
in
lives
town.
in town. Yep.
He still lives
Yeah, he
here,
still
yeah.
lives in Ada.
Okay.
Yep, and he's still good with it. And then Pat brought it up under the beautification committee. Instead of Tylen Pearson, it's actually Erickson now. She's obviously married, so we'll make that change on our end. So I need a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
That change was
Okay,
posted.
got a motion from Josh and a second from Sean. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Administrator clerk treasurer's report.
A few department updates. I wanted to start on a really high positive note. Liquor store.
It's not snowing.
What?
It's not snowing.
Not snowing. No, I'm gonna start with the liquor store tonight. So we were just running the numbers before I came down here. Obviously, this is without an audit, and so we could have some adjustments due to inventory. But right now, we are looking at a $21,559 surplus for the liquor store. In 2022, our total sales through the year were $623,942. In 2021, last year, we had $608 and $608,000. So we are looking at about a $15,000 increase in sales from last year to this year. So,
What was that number again?
okay,
20
sorry,
what?
numbers are
Sorry.
$608,076 from 2021. So with that being said, last year, if you guys remember from our audit, we did have a $6,000 loss from last year. This year, we're looking at a $21,000 surplus. So
That's awesome.
awesome news for the liquor store. With that being said, this last month alone, we had an $8,848 increase from last year in the month of December. So
Awesome.
numbers are looking good.
Good deal.
With the Deco Center, there are a few highlights. She had an open house on the 27th, if you guys remember. There was over 80 kids there that day. There was 50 or 60 in the pool at one time. It was awesome to see. She got the new slide in, partially from the donations that the council gave, and then partially the donations from Pat and Ross Fund. So thank you guys. But it was awesome to see so many people utilize that facility. With that being said, the ice rink is open now. They did do some filling of the holes today, but that's been utilized. The weight loss challenge starts, volleyball starts, swimming lessons start. She did the Tiny Tots class again, strengthening and stretching starts. So she's got a lot of activities, a lot of things going on. Downside is we are still looking for lifeguards. With that being said, I forgot to add something to the agenda.
We can talk about it now.
'Kay.
It's under the administrative clerk treasurer's report.
Okay. We talk about this every month, especially the last couple months, but our donation fund. Currently in our donation fund, we have $4,575 remaining from 2022. So I have some ideas on how I'd like to utilize these funds, and speaking of lifeguards, some of it goes to there. In our EDA committee meeting last week, some ideas were thrown around about possibly offering some scholarships to lifeguards that start with us and stay with us throughout their high school career. I think it's a great idea. I think most of our committee thought it was a great idea. We've had some positive feedback. So basically what we'd like to do is start advertising that if you sign up in the next 6 months to be a lifeguard with the city of Ada, and you stay at least a year. So if somebody comes in and they're 16 or 17 and they're at that end of the high school career, they can still get a scholarship. And we'd be looking at $500 if they're there for at least one full year. If they leave before that, they would not get the scholarship. So we want to do it, one, as an incentive just to work there, but two, as an incentive to stay and stick around. There's other requirements that Brianna's working on as far as how many shifts they need to work a month. They do need to work. They need to be in good standing, obviously. So things like that. But I would like to take $2,000 from our donations and put into a scholarship fund from this program. With that, Brianna's also going to be applying to Shakana for some funds. I would like to put it on the one fund drive for next year as well to get some more funding. And I guess the idea is that we can maybe advertise and get some lifeguards before summer starts. So with the donations funds, I got a couple of requests. I'm gonna do them all.
So keep in mind, before you go on,
Yeah.
that 4575 that we have remaining in the balance does not include our donations from December that we have not received yet.
Yeah.
So that 4575 is only taking up what we've had through November. We're gonna get replenished some funds.
2 or 3 grand.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be in that $2,000 range from the December, so we're not gonna be starting off this calendar year with nothing. So she keeps asking you guys this, just so you know that it's
And
not
also-
going down to zero.
Yes, and also keep in mind that when the Board Community Club did mention to us last year that they'd like the funds utilized throughout the year. It's not meant to be a revenue source for the city, and it's not meant to be rolled over into account. They'd like it to go back into the community. With that being said, I feel like we have advertised it and pushed outside of the city of Ada for months. I say it on the radio, we talk about it every month in the council meeting, so we've definitely got a lot of these funds out into the community, whether it was the school or 4-H programs or, church programs, so, I mean, if you remember, we did $5,000 to the, Historical Society this year, so a lot of funds have gotten outside of our city organizations. But being that we have some money left over, this is my suggestion, and then if you guys wanna change it or have comments or don't wanna approve, that's fine too. So $2,000 would go to the Deco Center to put towards the scholarship program, it would go into a separate fund. So like, Brianna has a Deco Center donation fund, and this would go under another line item that stays in there specifically for the scholarships. I'd like to put $1,000 to our police department. They purchased some gear this last week. They purchased some, what do I call it?
It's like uniform or.
It's a uniform,
yeah.
it's like professional
Professional
uniform
uniform,
for, special events, mainly for the funeral, that's tomorrow. And this gear is made for them to utilize whenever they have something like this happen. So not a cost we saw coming, obviously, it was a little over $800, so I'd like to give them $1,000 to just cover it all. Then I'd like to give another $1,000 to the fire department. I talked to Steve Petrie, and they said that the fire department could use, hazard chemical detection. So they're like pins, my understanding, they're like a pin that the fire department wears when they go into a burning building or, to do an assist or something like that, and it'll detect if there was any harmful chemicals in that facility. So that's what they would utilize, and if there's anything left over of that $1,000, they would utilize it towards gloves, extra gloves for the fire department. Then the remaining $500, I would like to, we've talked a lot with our police department, and I'd like to put $500 into the Norman County K-9 unit as a tribute to Jeremy Thornton. So a donation on behalf of him from the city of Ada, rather than doing, flowers or a card to the family. This way we can utilize the donation funds, and it goes to a cause that I was told from Steve is something, it was that or the Pancreatic Cancer Society, which we can do either one. My recommendation was the Norman County K-9 unit, being that it stays in Norman County specifically. But those were the two organizations that I guess the family has requested that if people would like to donate to.
You need a motion to approve these, or just?
Yes,
leave that?
because I'm
Yeah.
taking it all out of the
Can we lump
donation
it into
fund.
one motion?
Mm-hmm.
We can,
Certainly
unless
can.
there's any
Yeah.
changes or discussion you
I
guys
would
wanna
like to
have.
approve, or go ahead and approve Ashley's wishes to utilize these extra funds and get them used up.
I'll second that.
Okay, I got a motion from Casey and a second from Josh, and the motion would be to set up a $2,000 line item scholarship fund for the DECO, $1,000 to Ada Police Department, $1,000 to the Ada Fire Department, and the remaining $500 to the Norman County K-9. Any further questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
So that covered Deco Center. Our fire department, I think many of you guys know, we did win the bid for the water truck. So I believe, Josh, you're going down on Sunday to pick it up. So that'll be picked up there. And then our public works department, obviously, so they've been doing snow removal. Snow plowing, snow scraping, sanding. I did send out an email today to let you guys know they really worked heavily on the areas around the school today. Including the hospital road, just because with all the traffic tomorrow, that's where it'll be. Our police department has had a hard couple weeks, obviously, you guys know that. They've been working hard to help arrange the funeral arrangements, helping to get other law enforcement agencies in town. Steve's been working with the county and neighboring, Clay County, Becker County, things like that, helping coordinate. So they've been busy there, but other than that, we have our full department up and running. Alex has officially been on his own since Christmas. So we are down to having back to a normal routine where our officer is on, starting in the morning, all the way till 2:30 now at night. So it's nice to finally be back to a normal schedule. One fun drive. This is just an update to let you guys know. We do this every year. Gary Cares is the, starts it. And anybody in Ada that would like to do donations to all the different organizations in Norman County can stop by City Hall. We do have the forms up there. The due date is February 28th. So that was just a reminder. Last thing I have is MOU. When John and Sean and I met with the union and did our negotiations, we left it open for the fact that if insurance premiums were to increase by 10 or 5% or more, we would reconnect and we would renegotiate what the city already contributes to our employees' premiums. Well, they went up over 10%. So we had some discussions and we decided to meet our employees and increase the premiums by 10%. With this, it only affects a handful of people. Right now, we give $1,400. With this 10% increase, we would give $1,550.
And it only affects 2 employees, so it's not a huge deal. We knew this was coming, so we kinda put it into our negotiations and we had the discussion.
So I just need approval to send that back to the Ask Me Union negotiating.
I'll make the motion to approve that.
Okay, and a motion from Josh,
Second.
second from Scott. Any further questions about that? All in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion passes. New business, Kaleidoscope guests, Kim and Sean. Mark, when would you like to talk to them? Thursday at 9, you two?
Yep.
Okay. Ordinance 486, licensing for THC sales. If you guys remember, last month we put this on the agenda just because it's starting to come to the area a little bit more prevalently. If you guys read Ashley's email that she attached with this ordinance, we left the price out of it just in case at any time the council wants to go back in here and change or have that discussion, and we can certainly have that discussion tonight. I know after last council meeting, I talked with some members of the Twin Valley City Council, and their license, they set at $750 as a standalone option, $250 if they have a full liquor license,
Yep.
and they waived it if they're a pharmacy. The city of Fosston set their liquor, or their THC license at $1,000. Regardless of venue. If you guys remember correctly, we set ours at 25 or 20. So there's a huge discrepancy between our neighboring cities, and the conversation that I had with some of the individuals both in Twin Valley and Fosston is that they didn't want this in their community, and that's why they set it so high, to discourage those individuals looking to sell THC in their city to not have it. So I don't know if you guys have had a chance to think about it since last month, if you guys want to revisit that conversation. If you've had any dialogue with any citizens throughout the community, questions, comments, concerns, I'm open, otherwise we'll do our first reading and move on. But again, we didn't put, or Ashley didn't put a price in there just in case that conversation comes up and you guys do want to change it. We have not had any individuals, to my knowledge,
I've had no individuals approach me about it or ask me questions.
asking
or-
about a license.
yeah.
So at this point, it's not upon us, but it's better to get out in front of this before it is. So,
So if we do set a price this time, then we will approve it by resolution either before or when the ordinance is finalized, so.
I think we should copy Twin Valleys if they're in the same county. Be hard not to. Be foolish not to.
The only part I don't like is, I guess I'd just as soon just see it one price all the way across the board, kinda like Fosston. Keep it simple, just one price. I don't know, that'd be,
I like the idea of keeping it at one price. I think $1,000 is a little rich.
I do
For a
too.
number wise there.
yeah, I think it's a little steep.
I think
but-
to be a little bit more in line with the communities around, somewhere in a couple $100 range, I think is a little bit better sounding to myself, but I guess that's what the discussion here is for.
Yeah, I guess personally I'd like to see just set one price and be done. I think it simplifies it, I guess.
do you have a price in mind, Josh?
I didn't really think about a price. I don't know, Casey, did you said a couple
Two
hundred?
fifty just kinda comes to mind
Yeah.
for me, I think. It's a lot better than $20 and it's not as extreme as $1,000.
Well, and let's be honest, you know, like Twin Valley is 250 if they have a full liquor license. The only two businesses in town that are probably gonna request it are the ones with full liquor license. So if that's the case, we would be mirroring
Yep.
Twin Valley.
Yeah, and that's kind of because you can get the drinks or whatever too, part of that.
And that's where this
And
all
they already
stemmed
have lots
from.
of insurance and things like that.
Yeah.
a lot of those-
Is there some stipulations there on them in the liquor store? Have you put some on there, or they do it
There are
themselves?
rules like,
So many.
we don't do any food or any of the edibles, but, like with the drinks, like, we're only allowed to sell two.
Okay, that's
Like,
what I was
for,
getting at.
on sale anyways, but we're only allowed two. So there's some rules there.
Is that, was
That's
that?
more of
You
a
guys-
policy than a, that's
Did
not
you
part of our
guys
ordinance, so.
create that policy as a
That's,
city?
that's us
As a city, not as a
bar,
state, yeah.
It's not an ordinance, in our ordinance, but that's what they recommended when we,
There'd be something to
Sell
look
them.
into that, yeah. That wouldn't be part of this, I don't think, but.
Okay, so if you remember last month, I did ask if you guys wanted to take it to public safety and then come up with, if there was changes or if there
Yeah,
was
it wasn't
discussions you guys wanted to make. And the consensus was, you know, we were following state law, we more so wanted that license in there so that we knew what businesses were selling. Now, if we wanna do that, this ordinance has to go back to our attorneys and we have to rewrite it. Or we have to put it on pause and it needs to go and have some discussion on what you guys want to do, if there is limitations you wanna set. Now, keep in mind, like, there's certain limitations, we can't just go in and dictate either what we want, you know, we still have to make sure that it's legal.
And that's a municipal, so I'm guessing it's different than anything here, isn't it?
as far as like the
So
two
they can
drinks,
set
that's just
their-
we are, it's just a.
But they can
That's-
make that because
that-
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't make
That's what I'm
that.
saying, we
Yeah.
can't do, that's what I'm getting at.
No. So, yeah, we kinda leave that out of it. That's gonna be up to
That's
the
up to
borrowers.
the borrowers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so, but are you guys saying that you wanna put different restrictions on it, is what I'm asking you?
No, I just knew there was different, that's all I'm just saying, I knew
Okay.
they had different restrictions.
Okay, 'cause then
just
we
so
would have to
everybody-
rewrite
So everybody
the-
knows and
Yeah.
understands.
Okay,
I think the biggest thing is just getting the price of this established and then getting this to our attorney so we can get this drawn up and then.
Right. No, I'm not, they didn't say we had to put
Okay.
a restriction on it, just knowledge.
I was just
guess.
gonna say, I don't know exactly what restrictions we can
And
put
that
Right.
on
might actually
it,
be a company
Right.
thing, like
you know,
the product only wants you to sell. Like
Sure.
the vendor only wants you to sell no more than two to a person. It might be something like that, so.
Sure.
So I'm hearing, Casey, is that a motion to reset the price at $2.50
Yes.
for anybody with a full liquor license?
With a full liquor license.
I mean, we do have ours with just beer and wine, are we, is it, you can't sell?
Do those count? Can they sell that stuff?
To be honest with you, I don't know what
Right.
THC
Right.
products are,
Yeah,
they're
what
making,
they're-
I don't know
what
if they're,
label
So
of
could
it.
we just do it
If-
250 across the board?
I just for ease of.
Sure.
I'd like to
Or
just
do
do
we
250
wanna wait
across
then,
the
but
board.
can we wait to set a price maybe if we're, obviously there's a lot of,
I'd like to just set the
questions
price
right
and
now.
get done with it because things are gonna be constantly changing in this, you know, going forward. Walls just had I can't remember if it was yesterday or a couple days ago, he's pushing the legislature to put something across about full legalization across his desk this term.
Right.
So there are gonna be a lot of changes coming forward in this. This is more just a stopgap in the meantime.
but that's
so-
why if we do it by resolution, we can
We can
update
go
it
back and adjust
anytime.
it.
So if the regulations loosen up and we are nervous about those regulations, if they're too loose for City of
Yes.
Ada, we can increase the price.
But we can set the price today, and if we need to come back, we can revisit it at another time.
Absolutely. Okay, so I got a motion from Casey to raise the price to $250, and then, along with that was your approval of ordinance 486, correct?
Correct.
And waiving the reading?
Waiving the
I think
reading.
that's,
And
I
we-
heard all
You were
that.
very eloquently
Yep, I am.
relaying what I said there.
Yep.
Second.
Okay, so I got a motion from Casey and I got a second from Josh. We got any further discussion?
So this is we will be able to go back and change this easily.
Okay, ordinances, no, ordinances are not easy to change, that's why we wanna do it as a resolution.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the second reading, if we make a change, then we'll have to have another reading.
Yes.
So if there is a
Starts
change
over.
to the actual ordinance itself between now and next
Next
month,
Yep.
then yes, we will have to wait another month.
Okay,
But
that's
if it's
what-
a resolution, not that it's ideal, you could change it every month if you wanted to.
That's
We
what I was
just
making
prolonged
sure.
this for
Okay.
a while.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a motion from
Don't look at
Casey and a second from Josh. Ordinance, I don't need a roll call vote.
I think you do for an ordinance.
Isn't it resolution, roll call?
I think it's both. We haven't done an ordinance in like 2
I've
years.
done an ordinance in a long time. Let's do it by roll call just to be
Just
safe.
safe.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, ordinance, number 486, an ordinance amending chapter 22 of the city code providing licensing requirements for the sale or disposal of edible products containing THC by roll call vote. Mike.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Josh.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Sean.
Aye.
Casey.
Aye.
Kim.
Aye.
Ordinance number 486 passes. Okay, KRJB annual contract. If you guys, obviously look in the packet, there's a two-pager that, R&J Broadcasting sent over.
It's the same as last year, no price increase. Contract, everything else is the same, so nothing's changed.
And again, we budget for this every year out of our advertising budget. Total 2023 budget is in the amount of $5,349.67. Again, 5,349.
This is comes
Dot
from
six
three
seven.
different departments. It comes from the city council's budget, city hall's budget, and then we actually include liquor store in this one as well. All the other departments have their own, so Deco Center has their own, police department has their own. Public Works, if they need something, it usually comes through the city hall.
Okay, I need a motion to approve.
So move.
Okay,
Second.
I have a motion from Kim and a second from Sean. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Department updates, Public Works.
Ashley kind of touched base on it. The guy's been busy getting snow moved. We're still utilizing Visser's loader right now. The loader out at RDO is still getting worked on. Yeah, it's getting pushed back. Brian's been in contact with them, but we don't have a tentative date on that yet. Brian also secured a tractor that they've been using for snow blowing quite a bit here lately, so if you've seen Bruce around in that, that's what's going on there. And Ashley touched base on it. They took the maintainer out and really cleaned up a lot of the roads around the school and stuff in preparation for tomorrow, so.
We also finally get our bucket truck,
Yep.
Yes,
which is huge, cause that's been 2 years.
that's gonna be,
Like soon, I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's huge. Soon enough to actually take down the Christmas lights right now, so.
Did we, cause we borrowed to put them up this year, or what
Yeah,
we
They
did?
let us use
remember
one,
we
yeah.
bought it from Red River
Yep.
Co-op, 2 years,
It's
ago
been a
now,
little while,
and
yeah.
then they were waiting until they received theirs before they gave it to us, and then it got in an accident.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Josh, not to put you on the spot about our, deal out at RDO, but is it a time and parts thing, or is it, we're running into more issues than it's tore apart?
As of today, it's going back together.
Okay.
So I think tomorrow the engine will be back in.
I think I saw the engine outside today. On a forklift.
Public safety.
I was not around that week.
I don't believe in
I don't think you guys met.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. EDA?
Go ahead. She took notes, go ahead.
The whole point is for you guys.
That's why I asked you to
Kim.
take notes.
Speaking of that, Scott, I think you're the new, secretary.
Oh, boy.
Secretary, so.
Great.
Let's
Let's see that handwriting.
He's got
It's
mine
pretty
on.
ugly.
You can type.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, you
the,
can type.
the biggest thing is we've
Talk in
discussed
your
a lot of our revolving loans. Lately we've had some late payments and some non-payments, and so we discussed those loans and those businesses and what our next steps are with those things. The other thing we discussed is we received the USDA grant again, if you guys remember, and so we have 75,000 there, plus we have 90,000 now of our revolving loans that have come back. So we're sitting at a very high number, $160-some thousand that we have right now for businesses to lend through the EDA. So we're pushing that. It's 1% money. You can get up to 30,000, so it's new businesses and existing businesses that wanna grow. We talked a lot about that, at the last meeting.
Beautification.
We did not meet. We generally don't meet December and January. But
Gee, why's that?
She told me you guys met.
We met December. But we didn't meet.
no, we didn't. We met November. We didn't
Yeah.
meet.
Or we, okay.
Yeah, we didn't meet in December, but
I thought you guys met, cause she talked something about, the tree or the Ada sign on the, maybe
that was November.
Keep in mind that, the council obviously, earlier this year, we approved that $1,200, addition to your guys' wages based on the attendance at these committee meetings. That starts now this month, so I will ask at the end of the year, and Ashley will talk to the rest of the department heads too, and make sure that the council members are attending, make sure that these meetings are being held, because again, that kinda helps out this table a little bit moving forward as far as recommendations and input from the rest of the community, just because there's other people that aren't at that, or that aren't on council, that are in those committees, and sometimes they have a voice just as loud as your guys', so keep that in mind, please, and I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, a motion from Josh,
Second.
second from Casey, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Say, Mike, you're only on one council. I think that means you have to be full-time Kaleidoscope guest.